My dear dark ones, welcome to my channel. Today is an interesting video. It's how to interpret an egg cleanse. This is the first time I'm showing it on my channel. It was requested by one of my followers and I kind of like the idea, so I decided to share it with you. So it's not an actual egg cleanse, it's how to interpret an egg cleanse. So I always feel like when you want to even learn something, it should be done with real energy. So I'm using an egg cleanse for my client. This is for Warren. So he's like one of my favorite clients. He's practitioner, he's dark magician, he practices dark magic, he works with Satan, devil, Lucifer, like with this beautiful infernal divine. So when you interpret an egg cleanse for someone who's a practitioner and who's into dark magic, this is probably the most interesting case to learn, because people like Warren, they attract a lot of negative energy because they're working with demons, they're working with infernals, with spirits. He does client work as well, so he will be the one who most likely going to have like everything on his egg cleanse, you know. so so let's start, because you know, when you do an egg cleanse for someone who is living like pretty normal life, going to normal work, they usually have like less things that going on with their egg, so there is like less to show. And I really wanted to show you guys like everything, because we're learning. So for a learning video, I wanted to see almost everything, and we actually got almost everything. So before we start, I'm just gonna tell you like few details about egg cleanse, so how it's done. So usually if you want to do an egg cleanse, the first thing that you have to do is actually to prepare your eggs. So the way I do my eggs, I clean them with water, and like for example you can use salt as well. The best water to use for an egg cleanse would be like a moon water, or some kind of like specific water, like distilled water that doesn't have any additives, or water that you gather from a stream or from a sea. You know, if you get an ocean water or a sea water that already has salt, like natural salt in it, that's like the perfect water to use, especially if you get it on like full moon night. That's like the best, right? And then when the egg is clean, I usually set my intentions and I prepare for work. So I usually hold a second my arms, and I either do like some kind of like meditation, prayer, or mantra. I have like my specific like kind of incantation that I use for my work when it comes to client work. And I also like to draw sigils. So I usually draw sigils on an egg to see how the egg gonna take it. And I had like a similar egg prepared for this egg cleanse, so I just wanted to show you how my egg usually looks like when it's ready. So this is the egg after I did all my work on it, and then I get like a nice glass. I fill it up with water. It's usually supposed to be room temperature water, not cold, not too hot, you know, like room temperature. And the same thing, you prepare your water, you set your intentions. I usually like to let my water stay on the counter or on my altar for like 6 minutes exact, because I like number 6. That's one of my favorite numbers. And then you crack your egg, and you just put it in your water. Again, after that, I usually prefer again to wait for 6 minutes for egg to settle, and after that I start interpreting, or I start my work with an egg. So this is an interesting egg, because usually when you learn how to do an egg cleanse interpretation, right, we want to divide the water into 3 main parts. By the way, before I even start this, you never look inside the glass when you interpret. You look on the side of the water. That's where you look for like omens, like that, right? So we have the top, the middle part, and the bottom. So the top one is very important to see for the bubbles. and we have a lot of bubbles here. If you see, we have like a large bubble, like small bubbles, like all over the place. So usually bubbles on the top of your water, they mean that someone is actually giving you an evil eye or a hex. Large bubbles, like the one here in the middle, it means that someone is doing it like specifically for you. They're using your name, so there is a magic done on you. So for Warren, it could be someone, probably even a client, or maybe someone who can be like a friend to you, like someone like very close to you, but it's a very like person who is like actually jealous of you and person who wish you harm, again, for whatever reason. And probably this person also a magician or a mage or a witch, the practicing one, because bubbles like that, it's a nomen for someone who's actually doing like professional work. Small bubbles, they represent sometimes like evil eye that comes from people who don't even know that they can give you an evil eye. Like a lot of people, a lot of you watching, guys, you are born with powers, you're born with gifts and abilities. Even if you don't use them, you have the ability to actually hack someone just by looking at them, by sending them negative energy. So tiny bubbles, they represent these people who can hack you or harm you just because they don't like you, or they in a bad mood and they just sending you like negative energy, right? So these specific eggplants have all of these different types of evil eye that's going on. So another big thing to look for is how clean the water is, and if it's not clean, it means there is like a extreme damage done to the body, to the soul of this person. In our eggplants, the water at least is pretty clean, it's nice, so no serious damage, like no serious like work should be done, nothing like that. Also smell, always smell your water after you put your egg there. If the smell is like terrible or really, really bad, it means we are dealing with probably like maleficent and evil spirits that are being attached to the person, and exorcism is in order. It's very rare when it happens, but sometimes it does. Then we look at the middle part, right? So if you see this specific egg cleanse, this specific egg, it has like a lot of needles and pyramids in all of these crazy, beautiful things going on, which are also kind of negative, because when we have these needles that are going upwards, this is something to do with also negative energy, negative vampires around you, or sicknesses. When I see something like that, I always say that you have to probably go to a doctor and check your health, because something might be happening with your physical body. I know you said that sometimes like Warren, sometimes he has these dreams that he doesn't remember, but when he wakes up, he feels like he's been working all night. So it also could be that the energy being drained during the sleep, because a lot of people who possess the abilities, when you guys go to sleep and you dream, you actually might shift the reality, you might go to another dimension, and whatever is happening in that dimension, especially when you don't remember and when you wake up with like really bad energy, it means something was done to you there. So you come back with a hex from another dimension or from your dream, which sounds crazy, but it's very possible for people who are magical and witchy, right? Because we work in different realms. A lot of people astral project. So when you astral project, your energy, your soul goes there. So whatever happens there comes back to you here. So your body get affected. So definitely this is something to look for, and definitely check your body. And if you don't want to go to doctors, a lot of like people who are into the occult, they prefer not to use traditional medicine. So change your diet. Be more healthy, clean eating for sure, more exercising, even being outside, like walking, that helps a lot with your health issues, and it probably might go away very soon. Another thing to look for in the middle, like bubbles. There is like so many bubbles, tiny bubbles that are in the middle of your water. It's usually a good sign. It means that the egg takes negative energy and trying to release it. So it means the cleanse itself is working for you, and probably the cleanse is enough because the egg takes all the negative energy. If you see like needles like that but no bubbles, that's a bad sign, because the egg is not enough to actually help you with the cleanse, and you need to do like more serious work for protection, for energy boost, for cleansing your energy and cleansing your body. So now let's look at the bottom. So at the bottom, the first thing that you should look for, like a face of a human or an animal. Seeing a face is the indicator of having an enemy who is actually using magic on you. I don't see any faces. I don't see anything like that. So it means you don't have a specific enemy who is working on you, but I see two spots, like red kind of spots. Those spots also tells me that there are two people who are currently working against you. So if you're sharing with someone, probably because they're jealous, because the spots are not like really visible, they're just like small ones. So maybe because these people are jealous and they're magical, it could be your client, could be like your friend, or someone who is close to you but not like really close to you. They might be using you for just like using your energy, you know. So it's not something like dramatic, not something to be like really scared of, but because the egg takes it, it means it's just gonna go away. So nothing to worry about. But be careful who you choose to interact with, you know, especially if it's someone that you don't really know and you're sharing your magic with. People who are practitioners, especially when we go to covens or in like circles of people who practice the same thing, that's where we can easily pick up something, because again, like people have like such a strong energy, such strong connection to their power. So even like saying something negative like, oh, I wish I could have something that you have, it's already becomes an evil eye, it becomes a hex, you know. So be careful who you share your private life with. And other than that, I don't see anything like super bad, so it's fine. Another thing to look for when you see, I don't see it in this egg lens, but when you see a spider web, that's a very serious indicator of magical work that is being done on you at this specific moment. It's like someone is working on you. In this egg lens, I don't see nothing like that. So it means whatever it is you're dealing with, it's like from the past, not from the present, right? Unusual thing, right? When you see something like that, the needles, they're supposed to be like straight, right? These ones, they look like pyramids, and they look like they kind of creating like a city, like Atlantis. That's what I see. It's quite beautiful, actually, guys. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna show it to you. So this is a quite beautiful creation, and this city actually got a lot of bubbles and a lot of like pyramid-looking structures, and it's quite beautiful, you know. So when I do an egg lens, I also see and look for how does the form that eggs creates, how does it look to me. So when I feel that it's something like beautiful, for me it's usually like a good sign, a good symbol that even if the magic is done, it actually could be white magic, a good magic. So maybe someone also is protecting you. So maybe there is a person in your life who actually is sharing their magic with you in a good, amazing way. Because it's like an Atlantean kind of feel to me. So maybe this person is from your past life. You've been together in your Atlantis reincarnation, and this magic that it's done on you. And because it's like vertical, right? They're going up, they're going to the top. So it means it's a current interaction. Like you're talking to someone from your past life, and this person is actually giving you a lot of positive energy. It's like a protection kind of thing. It's love. It's a lot of like, feels like family, like soul family, feels like connection for centuries. So seeing something like that, when the needles they become like a beautiful thing, it means like a good magic is done. So you are being protected by someone who you deeply care for, and this person protects you too, and constantly sending you this like magical energy, like witchy vibes, which is amazing, right? Another thing to look for, the position of the yoke, right? Uh, when it's on one side, because when we started it was here, right, and then I moved the glass. So this is the position of the east. Usually for me, north represent mind. This is like legs. This is your soul and this is your heart. So it means it was like this. So it means the yoke is connected to your heart, right? So being on your heart position, it means that you really, really connected with your heart, your love. You're vibrating on highest frequencies of love, and it's beautiful. This is something amazing. It rarely happens because usually the yoke goes to the bottom. So it means that whatever it is you do, you always do with love and passion. So it's a good thing. This is something that we all should do and learn. So I know Warren is such a beautiful person. His heart is just so magical and so unusual, and this egg definitely represents this. I don't think there's something that needs to be done in this area. Also, if you would see an egg yolk on this position, like more toward your legs, this is all about like grounding and earth. So when it's connected there, it means you are in front of a person who's working, and person who is trying to build some kind of empire or something, like very serious, like building time for this individual. And when you see something like this, it means you have to help them and cleanse the area of their business, right? This position of the yoke on your left, for me, it's a soul kind of situation. So when it happens like that and you see the egg there, if it's a bad egg, if it's like you see like a negative thing, so it means they need help with their like awakening spiritual journey and things like that. When it's the north, it means this is the mind, so they are confused, they need help with their path, with their decision making and things like that, so they really need guidance. So when you do your cleanse, you try to concentrate on their mind and send them like energy that's gonna give them guidance and like connect more with their intuition, right? So for Warren here, I don't feel that he needs any help in any direction or nothing like that, because he's connected with his heart. The heart is working, and it's a beautiful yoke. So nothing negative. Like I can say there is nothing bad. Maybe be careful who you share your heart with, because you give it away sometimes too easily. You love the whole world. You know, you love humans, animals, and you're like a beautiful flower. You give yourself away, so maybe just protect yourself more. That's what I can say. But it's just the way it is, right? Practitioners, they are unusual creatures. We are usually more open to the world. We give our heart away so easily, so that's when we get like a lot of negative energy, especially for people who are online or who work as practitioners. You would always see the egg in the most like interesting way. There's always everything happening in the glass, right? So it's like very usual. So this is it. What can I add? You know, probably if you see like clouds at the bottom, that would be something negative. I don't see any clouds. It's just a yellow kind of color, which is like normal separation of the egg. So there is no, when you see cloudness, it means there is like something negative, like work being done, or like stress, draining, blockages, nothing like that. Another thing, if the water is not really clear, it means, you know, the middle sometimes represent the path. So if you see a lot of clouds in the middle of the water, it means the path is blocked. So there are blockages, or there are things to look for and watch out on your journey. Here it's super clear, so the path is clear. Warren knows what he's doing, he knows his goals and where he's going, his destination is very clear, so the water is clear. And probably last thing that I want to say, probably is when you see that yolk is like really connected with the egg white, right? They together, so there's no separation. That means that the person is not open. The third eye is closed. There are some things that this person should work on, and there are things that need to be like they need help with, you know. So for example, if you see that there is no separation of the egg white and the egg yolk, so it means person needs help with their like spiritual side, like awakening, you know. They need help with connecting to their higher self, to their like soul, you know. So they maybe they're like more attached to their 3D, to physical body, and less open to the inner world, I would say. They don't listen to their intuition or things like that. So that's what you should look for when you do the egg cleanse. I guess in a nutshell, this is it. It's pretty straightforward. My own advice to you, sometimes it's not even about the science or anything like that. You are the reader, so it's all about what do you see, what do you feel. And I would recommend you to trust yourself more than even to trust this video. It's all intuitive thing. When you do it for yourself, that's maybe when you should like listen to what I say, and because like we always confuse when it comes to ourselves. It's very hard to read for ourselves. But when you do it for a client, I do recommend you to actually look for the energy and for the pattern in a way that it feels for you, you know. Like even if you see, for example, needles that going up, it's usually like a negative indicator. But if you feel that it's something beautiful to you, that the pattern is actually like an art, I would rather you to take it as something positive than negative, because you know better, you know. You're the messenger, you're the vessel, and you're the medium. So always trust yourself, even if it goes against the normal teachings. You're the oracle, so you always connected with your higher self, and the messages that comes to you are always more clear and more correct than the normal types of knowledge, you know. We don't learn from books, and we don't really learn, we remember. Like videos and books, other people, your teachers, they help you to remember the things that you already know. So even this video, it's not in a guide, like 100% like step-by-step guide to do the interpretation on an egg cleanse. It's like a key for you to unlock your own memories. I hope you understand that. I hope that you know that no matter what you feel about yourself, no matter like how you believe in yourself or don't believe in yourself, always your soul knows better. And we are all different. We see different things. We interpret the world differently. So always trust yourself more. Be more intuitive. And I guess I stop here. I always like to encourage you guys, because I know you are exceptionally talented, all of you watching. And I hope this video helps. I hope you try it to do yourself. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. And also let me know, because it's kind of like a lesson. Let me know, what do you personally see, feel from this egg cleanse? What would you say? So imagine that you do this egg cleanse for Warren with me. So he will be reading the comments. So let him know what you see in this egg cleanse, what you can add. So it's kind of like a challenge for you to test your own intuition. So let my client know what you see and what can you add to the things that I said. I'm curious to know myself, so please leave your comments, share your wisdom, and just practice. The best way to learn anything is actually practicing. I always say that, and it's true. Now I stop, and I can wait to actually read your comments, honestly, so please share. And I'm probably gonna do more videos on a cleanse, so I'll see you then.